So I'm at a junction here. My destination is on the right trail, the right fork. There's basically a basin. If I go that way, there's a basin, the 4 Mile Basin, that's where I'm going. If I go left, you have the two twin lakes, and then further on you have Lake of the Isle, which, had I gotten here earlier, I might have been very tempted to go to. But I'll stick with the plan and head right. Now this is the trail, or the old road, and I don't know that the video shows it, but I do have some climbing, more climbing. A little pond here, up there, right there. I'm guessing all beyond that. I'm guessing that's this trail, and which is an old road that I'll be climbing up. How about that? Wow. So there's let's see, 3 lakes where I'm going, 2 lakes down here, and another one up in one of those basins somewhere. So half a dozen lakes in these basin, 5 have fish. This little vista here, I'm gonna catch it on the way out, because with the sun angle there's a lot of haze and blue with this, so it's really not the best right now, but this is certainly scenic in here. So I'm not sure the Lake of the Isle, I'm not sure, is either up there or up there. I don't know. Okay, so this is the lower lake. This is lower 4 Mile Basin Lake. I'm headed to the upper lake. It's 4.03 miles in here. It's a pretty lake. I have seen some fish rise here. Nice little campsite right there with a little table and everything. I thought I might see somebody in here. There's 2 vehicles down at the lower trailhead, but there's also, you know, five or six lakes in here. So I believe this lake has brookies, rainbows, and maybe some cutthroats. I'm not sure about the cutthroats, but anyway, yeah, there's fish rose out there. I saw one close to shore. This is a lake that definitely you need your waders. Well, I've arrived. This is Upper 4 Mile Basin Lake in the Pintlers. Boy, there's fish all over the place rising. Wow. Boy, this is a pretty lake. It's very pretty up here. Let's see here. Oh, I'll do that later. Yeah, so I think what I'm gonna do, there's a lot of fish rising. I'm probably gonna start right over here at this point over here and work back and forth. That looks like a good area. Yeah, this is a pretty lake, one of the prettier lakes I've seen this year. Well, good morning. It is Sunday, August 29th. It's a little after 11 a.m. I'm in the Pintlers, my second trip in here, different lake. Today I am at Upper Fourmile Basin Lake. Looks like I'm the only one here. It's 4.64 miles in here by my DeLorme Earthmate. A pretty good climb, but for the most part a gradual climb, pretty steady climb. Most of the trail is an old road. When I first got here, I saw quite a few fish rising out here. This lake, from what I understand, has cutthroats in it. I think it's got westlopes in it. It does get stocked. My one concern about the lake, the regional biologist kind of turned me on to this lake. The only concern I really have about it is the stocking schedule. I'm not sure if it gets stocked every 4 years or every 8 years. It was last stocked in 19. So normally I target, I like to target lakes 3 and 4 years after stocking. So this one may be a little young. I'm hoping that maybe there's some natural reproduction in here as well. But we'll see. A lot of fish were rising. That's kind of stopped here in the last, I don't know, 10-15 minutes, but it may be because there's a breeze in the water. What I'm going to do that's interesting here is this. There's what appears to be a pretty solid shelf, and it's pretty extensive. And the fish, what I've been seeing is they were rising along the drop-offs there, right off the drop-off. So what I'm going to do, I got my waders on. I'm rigged up with a floating fly line and my ant for now. And I'm going to wade out and basically fish these drop-offs with the ant and see how it produces. Hopefully I'll have a good day. It certainly is a pretty lake. It's a very pretty lake. So we'll see, more to come. So my first cast, and I got a fish, and he feels like a good one. Holy cow, I looked away for a moment, and he grabbed it, and then he ran. So, yeah, not too bad of a start. I'm lucky that I hooked him, honestly, since I wasn't paying attention. So he feels decent, but because I wasn't paying attention, looks like I've hooked him in the body. So he feels, when you do that, they feel a little bit bigger than they are. He's about 11 inches. He might go 12, I don't know. About 11. Little west slope. There he is. That's actually not too bad for a 2-year-old, if that's what it is. Back you go. So hopefully there's some bigger fish in here, but we'll just have to see. So my third cast and my second fish. Note to self, if these are 2-year-olds, the next 2 years this lake is gonna be it. Yeah, I generally will not target a lake that has 2-year-olds in it. But I didn't know really until last night. My plans were kind of set. But these are decent fish for 2-year-olds. I mean, they're certainly not trophies, but next year they'll I mean, what I'm catching here, it looks like, are fat 11-inch fish, and next year, yeah, these fish are going to be 13 to 14 inches, maybe even 15. This is another fat west slope. This is nice. This is all right for a 2-year-old. Another nice fish. And it's hooked him pretty good. And I'm having trouble getting it out. All right. There we go. Another look at him. Little hen, looks like little hen. Back you go. So it's 12:30, maybe a little after 12:30. This is my, if I get him in, this will be the 6th fish I've caught and released this morning. In about an hour and a half of fishing. The fishing's quite good. They're on the small side. They're about 11 inches. 10 to 11 inches. Most of them are 11 inches. They're fat, you know. This is about right for a 2-year-old West Slope. There may be a few bigger fish in here. I was hoping if it was on a 4-year schedule, there might be some 6-year-olds in here. I have had some refusals, quite honestly. That's interesting. What they're doing, what they're keying in on is these winged cinnamon ants that in the northern Rockies, all over the northern Rockies, you have these cinnamon ants that show up, and there's these big ant falls, and they start in late August. They continue through September into October, and I've seen them in Wyoming. I've seen them in the Bighorns. I've seen them in all the mountain ranges in Montana, and they're winged cinnamon ants, and that's what these guys are keying in on. So I have a black foam ant on, and I'm doing pretty good, but I am getting some refusals. This is a little nice, another nice hen here, but I have had some refusals. So after lunch, what I may do is I may go ahead and switch over to I have some winged brown foam ants just for this exact scenario. They're a brown color, and they've got an antron wing on them just for this. And so I'm going to have some lunch, and I'm going to switch over. There were 2 ladies here that came in with their dog. They were here for, I don't know, 45 minutes, ate some lunch and left. Other than that, I haven't seen a soul in here. This lake, this is going to be a good lake next year and the year after. It's really going to be a hot lake. These fish, from what I've heard, they grow well in here. I'd like to find out a little bit more about the stocking schedule, but, you know, it is what it is, I guess. I just had one that I missed. So I don't know, I thought about maybe also trying something under a strike indicator later, just to see if it would work in this lake. Yeah. One thing I can tell you is that late June on this lake, I'm guessing there's calabatus that'll come off here. This would be really, really good. My guess is, though, this lake probably fishes pretty well anyway. I'm kind of just working my way back to shore here, kind of casting as I go to see if I can, you know, pick up a stray. But that's what's going on. These fish are keying in on these cinnamon ants. the waders really help because there's this big shoal, and I mean it's one of the biggest shoals I've seen in a high mountain lake. In fact, there's part of it that goes out over here, and it really makes getting to these fish a lot easier. Now on the other side, it's rocky and kind of a steep shore, so you can, if you don't have waders, you just fish over there. And there seems to be quite a few fish rising over there too, so. I'm pretty impressed with this lake. It's, it's just long enough of a hike in here to where it may not get hammered too bad. I just had a miss. There's 2 or 3 fish right out here working. Yeah, 3 and 4 year olds in this lake. This lake would be a lot of fun. So it's 10 to 1, and I've put in for a bit of lunch. This is a pretty lake. Yeah, it's pretty up here. Reminds me a lot of Boulder Lake up in the West Pioneers, where I had a phenomenal day in late June. 2 months ago. Anyway, so one of the things I'm gonna do after lunch here is I'm gonna switch over to a cinnamon ant. I've got a cinnamon ant, a winged cinnamon ant, which is a more exact match for these that are in here. And I'm gonna fish that a little bit, and then I may, if I have time, I may try like a couple of chironomids or something under an indicator. But yeah, this is a good lake. Next year, they're 2-year-olds, so you can't, they're 11 inches, but they're fat, they're in good shape, they're well built. Next year and the year after, they'll be really super nice fish. So anyway, lunch is this is kind of one of my newer high country meals. It's what I got here is I've got a tortilla with cheese and salami in it, and then I slathered jam on the tortilla before I put the salami and cheese, so the sweetness cuts the salt, and it's a pretty good meal up here. Anyway, a few more hours to fish. Probably head out about, I don't know, 3:30, something like that. The trail in here, most of the trail is an old road. There's a steady climb from about 1.7 miles into the hike all the way up to these lakes. It's a gradual kind of a, normally I'd call it a gentle, constant climb. The length of it probably makes it moderate, though. Good trail to get your wind in the early season for hiking. What I don't know, all of these basins up here, they're north facing, So even though the elevation's only about 8,000, 8,200, 8,300, something like that, because they're north facing, I'm not real sure, you know, how early they're accessible. My guess is you can probably get in here in mid to late June in a normal year. Well, I've been having some challenges since lunch. I switched over to a winged brown ant, and I've had a lot of refusals, and I think the reason why is because it's too big. Those were tied in a 14. So what I ended up doing is I had some brown ants that weren't winged. They were standard brown ants, foam ants, in a 16. And so I just switched after several refusals. I just switched over, and so it's not winged, but it's the right size and the color approximately matches. And so here's a fish. Interestingly enough, right on this drop off out here, there's looks like some weed beds. Another fat west slope with very little spotting on this one. Little hen. Back you go. Yeah, so this cinnamon ant, even though it doesn't have a wing, that's the ticket. They're taking it. I don't know that I've gotten any refusals with it. I need to tie some up that have in 16s with the wings. I need to do that. This is sure a pretty lake. It's a gorgeous lake, just very, very pleasing, very, very scenic up here. Now, this is a fat one. This is a real fat one. This might be a male. I don't. This is a real. Looks like a little hen. Again, maybe it's a male. I don't know. There you go. That's my 9th fish. Another happy customer. Another fat west slope. Ugh. You know, I still got him. He's kind of got a, oh, this is, I've got to get him off, so. There he is. Or she. Back you go. It's my 11th fish. Ugh. I don't know how that happens, but it does. Alright, he's a nice wuss. He's a little, another hooked him near the tail. Alright. All right. Oh, hang on, bud. Hang on. All right. There he is. And mostly what happened is it tangled. There he goes. That was my 12th fish. And I think I'm gonna pack up and head out. All right, it's 3:23 p.m. Sunday, August 29th. This is Upper Fourmile, Basin Lake, where the fish are still rising. And I'm hitting the trail. I ended up catching and releasing 12. Most of them are they're 2-year-olds. All of them are about 11 inches fat. Next 2 years though, this will be a hot lake. This will be a good lake to fish. Yeah, you know, pretty lake. Fishing was good. Size could have been better, but the fishing was good. And you know, it's days like this and scenery like this that it's hard to leave. It's hard to leave. And you know, with fall basically here, there's not many more of these days left. So that's a grouse. He's not too bothered about me. That looks like oh, there's 2 of them. Oh, there's 2 of them. 3 of them. How about that? How about that view? How about that view? So the Twin Lakes are somewhere down in there. I'm not real sure where. And then there's another lake, and I don't know if it's up there or up there. Lake of the Isle.